Nation, this is the foundation. Just want to catch up and what's been going on with the Lakers, what I'm looking forward to, and yes, a little Lavar ball. um, so I'll start. I guess I'll finish off with the Lavar thing, but you know, the last 15 games, like without Lonzo, because remember in the beginning of the year, when we were struggling without Lonzo, I think at one time it was like 0-7 without Lonzo. We were, like, man, we got to make a move because nobody can play behind Lonzo. And then, then these last 15 games, we went 8-7. Everybody started clicking, especially with Caruso and Hart. And then, of course, Larry Nance and their contribution, and Clarkson, and then Julius Randle and Brandon, especially Brandon Ingram, taking charge of the points at sometimes. But Josh Hart has been another standout with his defense, making a couple clutch shots, rebounding the ball, and everything. So, and when we started to get in that, then the trade happened. So it's a little bit Debbie Downer. I understand what it meant long term, but at the same time too, it was just like, I want to see how far we could have taken it. So we traded for Isaiah Thomas, Channing Frye, and a pick. Now the exciting part is the pick because we've been able to have a lot of trust. A lot of Laker fans would agree. We can have a lot of trust in our scouting department. I mean, I forget where he was drafted at, but Clarkson wasn't an early pick. Larry Nance Jr. wasn't an early pick. Kyle Kuzma, especially Kyle Kuzma, but even Josh Hart in recent, so we should have a lot of confidence, with our scouting department picking, having that pick. But this All-Star break, now that because Lonzo's coming back, Luke Walton has time to how he wants to do the dynamic with Lonzo. Also with Isaiah too, because Isaiah is a ball dominating kind of guy. And the other thing we have to figure out, because in those 3 games that we lost, I'm not throwing him under the bus, but we've seen the good side, which when he's scoring, because he can score fast and score a lot in that time frame. So a lot of things get covered up. But then when he's not scoring, and and he's shooting, because how shooters get out of their slump, they shoot their way out of a slump, and but the backlash on that is that he's not a good defender, and that's when all the other things get exposed. So now Luke Walton has to figure out, when he's scoring well, how much does he has to reward him, keep him engaged, and then when he's not, like I said, the whole to shoot his way out of a slump. But he needs defense on the court, so he needs to have to know when to pull the trigger. Like, hey, I need to stop the bleeding now. I need defense and everything. So that's what he has to. That's what he has to do. Now, moving forward, I would like to see us make a push to the playoffs with Lonzo, Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, and all these guys. Because that's what's going to attract the free agents. Because that's the big picture here. If we can push, I think we're like 11 games out of under 500, but I think we're like 13th place. If we can really make a jump forward and maybe get into the playoffs, one, it's gonna do wonders for our team. Get into a tournament, building experience after that, knowing what it takes to play in there, and learning and growing from that. That's what's gonna attract the free agents that we're targeting and everything. So with that being said, now talking about free agents, this is why it raked my nerves for a lot of things. Not just for the team, but the free agents that we're targeting, with the whole Lavar situation. I watched it on his opinion, TCDC's opinion about Lavar ball, which I left a comment on there. But it was a great opinion on his part. So, watch that video if you haven't already. My thing though, why I made that comment was because Now, other than the most, this all goes out the window because it all depends on the strength and the bond that Lonzo has with his teammates. Like for instance, when the beginning, when the whole Luke Walton thing, oh, the team is quit on Luke Walton, da 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 da, and all that stuff. The funny thing I saw was that I saw in his interview that he said, when I said that though, when I said that, you saw that? The team's, he actually took credit for the team doing better. I was like, no. Lonzo started upping his game. He started developing as the season went on. That's a common thing. All of us knew that Lonzo needed time to whatever the mainstream media was saying, like, oh, he's struggling. No, he had all that, some hype and some unneeded hype and all that. But, he started developing. Brandon Ingram, when Julius Randle figured out his role, that's when everything started clicking. That's why we started playing better because of that. But the thing is, like for right now, the free agents, the free agents are gonna go up to Josh Hart, maybe some of that, KCP going, hey, what is up with that guy? Is Lonzo going back to him telling everything like that? Because, what if somebody making him, what if I make a bonehead, what if I make a bad play? What, he gonna comment on that too? Then if the strong is good, the bond is good, and he's like, nah, is this, is that, leave it alone, is this, is that, don't worry about it, and everything. But, you cannot help but see that, But the thing that got on my nerves is that the whole thing, like, oh, I'm gonna, so what, we gotta wait until your sons? He goes, are you telling me that basically you're saying that Lonzo's not good enough without his brothers to win a championship? I know he didn't say that, but that's what he makes it out to be. And then, with the way we're developing guys like a Josh Hart, like a Kyle Kuzma, the way he's been playing and all that, is like, what, every time when, let's say the whole team is together and then we find a way to get those guys on the team, well, we're gonna have to hear every time that when a certain time of the game that the other two Ball brothers are not on the court, well, we're gonna have to hear, regardless we win or lose, we're gonna have to hear Lavar go, oh, they need to be on the court more, so it's all gonna be all that kind of stuff. And then this is the thing, I'm not knocking Lonzo on this other than this. If he wants to play with his brothers, that's great. That's fine. But if he's not about winning the championship, if he wants to wait for his brothers, you know what? I don't want to wait for that. Hey, I know some guys that I talk to, but I have conversations with about the draft. I'm more in depth in the college side. I pay attention more to the college draft. They said this year is gonna be a strong one. It's like, hey, you know what? Let's get a top 3. Let's stay at the top 5, depending on the lottery. Maybe you can give it a top 3 pick. I would rather do that, than waiting. Because I don't know what that's gonna hold. Because like Kyle Kuzma, what is year 1 to year 2 going to be for him? Like how Brandon Ingram. How's that going to play out? So, Josh Hart, how much he's going to develop more. In the free agent that we got, well, we got to wait for Lonzo to be the star that we're hoping that he'll be. That's the part that, that's why it's like, if that's the case, if that's the way it's going to be, if he's not about trying to win a championship now with this Lakers team, with the dynamics going on, then I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want him being a part of it. I'd rather get somebody else than all that. But again, it all depends on what's going on with Lonzo and his teammates and how much he wants it and all that. So basically that's the video. That's the part about that. I don't want to talk anymore about it. But anyway, mahalo for watching. Laker Nation, aloha.